Ndewo, kekime. Aha m bụ Ijeoma, onye na-ewetara gị nkụzi Igbo. Okay? Ndewo. My name is Ijeoma. Kedu aha gị? What's your name? There in the comments. Kedu aha gị? So taa, ihe anyị ga-ekwu maka ya bụ ka ị ga-esi mụta Igbo n'ọnwa isii. Okay, how to learn Igbo in 6 months. Okay, that's what I'll be discussing today. So if your desire is to learn Igbo in the next 6 months, even if you're a beginner, I'm going to tell you how to do it. Nola, okay, and stick to the end. At the end, I'll be offering you a special invitation to join me in a free workshop. Right, so you want to learn Igbo in the next 6 months. What do? So there are 5 steps to take. 5 steps. Nola. The first one is to listen, okay? So listen, and listen again. Listen a lot to Igbo resources. So Igbo movies, Igbo songs, people speaking Igbo in your family. Make sure you're listening, okay? And as you listen, ask questions. So do a lot of listening. What that helps you to do is you get to know the sound, the intonation, and some of the words, you just start knowing what they mean, even if just by listening, okay? And this listening, there are 2 ways. There's active listening and there's passive listening. Okay, so you'll be listening even when you're doing other things, okay? Maybe you're doing house chores or driving, you can be listening, okay? And then there are other times you need to do active listening. You actually put it, you listen, and maybe replace something and listen again, okay? So that's number 1 strategy. Number 2, is you then need to speak, okay? So when you're listening, it doesn't mean you need to listen for 1 year before you start speaking, no. So when you hear something, you learn something, speak it the first opportunity you get, okay? So now at the beginning of this video, I said in Ndewo is hello. So if you did not know that, the next time you see somebody, rather than saying hello, Ndewo, you just use it immediately. So that's speaking. Speak, and speak. Do not wait until you're an expert. Remember, we're going to learn this in 6 months. So you have to start speaking from day 1, okay? And don't worry about mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, that means you're not speaking. So you need to speak Igbo. Nola? So speak. Soya. So came out. Just say the one you know. Okay? What was I going to say? So still on the speaking, the things to help you speak is 1, you need a speaking partner, okay? Of course, you can speak by yourself or speak out loud when you're learning and things. But to help you move further in this 6 months, you need to get somebody that will keep you accountable. That's your speaking partner. So this can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be an Igbo language coach or teacher, okay? But whoever it is has to be someone that will be checking in on you at least every week to make sure that you're learning and speaking. So when they call you or you call them, you're speaking Igbo to each other, okay? So if it's your family or a friend, somebody that you speak with every week and that will speak Igbo to you, that will not resort to English, okay? So that's number 2, okay? And if it's a coach, then of course they'll be speaking Igbo and teaching you as well, okay? So the purpose of this number 2 is speaking, but in this speaking, you're getting a partner who's also keeping you accountable. So there are so many things in there, okay? So number 1 was listening. Number 2 is speaking it, and then using all those tips I'll give you about speaking. Number 3 thing that you need to do is, just like the speaking, what do you then speak about, okay? You have to choose your conversation topics. This is number 3. And what I mean by that is you need to be smart about this, okay? You need to choose the topics that are relevant to you. And I call this number 3, the 80-20 rule. We all use the 80-20 rule for other things, okay? And what this means is you focus 80% of your time on the 20% that you actually need, okay? So there's million topics in Igbo, okay, but you don't speak about all of them, okay? You maybe if you're not interested in golf, you wouldn't be start by learning how to speak about golf in Igbo, okay? But you will start with introduction, greetings, eating, cooking, things like that, okay? And if you're maybe say a footballer and you practice your game every day, then it will make sense for you to also learn football speak in Igbo, okay? So this number 3 strategy is to use your time effectively, basically. That's what it's doing for you. The 80-20 rule, focus 80% of your time on the 20% that you actually need to speak about every day, okay? So which will bring me to number 4. Number 4 is setting your goals. Okay, because then when you're setting goals, you're going to use that number 3 because that will help you set the conversation topics that you actually need. And to become conversationally fluent in 6 months, you only need about maybe 7 to 10 topics or even less. Okay, how many topics do we speak? Okay, so for example, how many topics do I speak about every day? So it's introduction and greetings, which is kind of one topic. Eating and cooking, again, which is 1, so 2. I talk about house chores in my house. That's number 3. I talk about, honestly, I don't talk about more singing, maybe, because I sing a lot and we do dancing in the house, okay? So about 5 topics. Emotions, okay, 6. So you find that you don't need more than 7 to 10 topics to become conversationally fluent. So setting your goals here, you set your conversation topics, which I will advise you don't make it more than 10. Just make sure you're narrowing them down to actually the topics you'll be speaking about, okay? Okay, don't go learning about how to speak about space when you're not speaking about space in your daily life. Okay, so this is number 4, your goals. So in these goals, again, there are kind of branches. You're writing down your conversation topics. You're also allocating time. So now remember, we're talking about learning Igbo in 6 months. And if you're a beginner, I would say minimum 30 minutes every day, 6 days a week, you're learning actively. Okay, so this is not the time. Remember, there's passive learning when things around you, you're playing music, background, and all that. But active learning should be at least at the very minimum 30 minutes every day if you're a beginner, for at least 6 days a week. Okay, so you can take one day off, maybe take Saturday off, but make sure you're learning for 6 days a week minimum. Okay, so if you're further along, okay, maybe you're not a complete beginner, maybe you're intermediate, so you might not need 30 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day might be enough for you, okay? But if you're a beginner, which most of my clients usually are, 30 minutes a day minimum for this 6 months, okay? 6 days a week, 6 months, okay? So that's your goal. And then the final, number 5. So let's recap what we said before. Number 1, we have to listen a lot. Number 2, speak. Get a speaking partner, coach, friend, or family, and make sure you're speaking. Number 3 was to make what you're learning relevant to you. 80-20 rule. Focus 80% of your time on the 20% of the language that you're actually using. And number 4, set your goals, the conversation topics, your time that you're going to learn them every day. And also with that goal, let those 30 minutes be specific times of the day. It might be in the morning before breakfast or at night before sleeping. Just make it consistent, okay, to help you. So number 5, okay, which in my opinion is like the most important one, is to examine why you're learning more. So make sure you know why. Okay, why are you learning more? Okay, it has to be something that is so concrete so that you don't stop by the wayside, because there are people that start and they stop, and it's because there wasn't really any motivation really to continue. So but if you have a strong why, so I'll give you examples of why my students who have done well or are doing well, their reasons. Okay, they're either learning to connect with their identity, to connect with who they are, to connect with their culture. Okay, so it doesn't matter how long it takes them, they just want to learn it. Okay, so that's one. The other reason they give me is they have a spouse that's Igbo. They want to communicate with them in Igbo, even if the spouse is not speaking Igbo at this time, but their goal is that eventually they'll all be speaking Igbo in the house. Okay, number 3, they usually want to speak with their parents as well. And then may teach their children. So you can see all those reasons. So that will make someone to continue. Even when they get tired, they remember, oh, I want to teach my children, I better carry on. So you have to have a solid reason why you're doing something so that you can continue doing. Okay, another example I'll give you is my own reason for teaching Igbo, because I teach. Okay, so I'm teaching Igbo. 1, it allows me to work for myself, okay, which is very important to me. So I'm going to continue doing it. Number 2, it allows me to help people that are learning Igbo, okay? Because when I was looking for exactly what to do, when I was examining how to work for myself, I saw people looking for Igbo teachers, and that's something I could do. So it enables me to help people. Number 3 reason, which is my most important reason, is that it helps me teach my children as well. Okay, so because I'm teaching others, I have to teach my children. There's no question about it, okay? So charity begins at home. So it keeps me on my toes, reminds me that my children actually have to teach Igbo have to speak Igbo if I'm teaching others. So those are my reasons for teaching Igbo. And you can see because of those reasons, especially the last one, I'm going to be teaching Igbo. Even when I decide to do something else, I'll still be teaching it. Okay. And even if I decide to stop teaching like individuals, I will be writing books. So I'm not going anywhere. So I'm teaching Igbo. Okay. So make sure you know why you're learning Igbo. So those are the 5 things to help you speak Igbo in 6 months. Okay. So I'll go over them again. Listen a lot. Mama, 1 second. Mama Chere. Nabe. So listen a lot, speak it every chance you get a speaking partner, somebody to keep you accountable and to speak with you. Number 3, 80-20 rule. Number 4, set your goals. Number 5, what's number 5? Know why you're learning Igbo. Okay, so now for that invitation I told you about. So I'm running a free workshop in 9 days time, 19th of May. You are specially invited. Okay, so there I'll be talking more about the strategies. I'll also be talking more about the phrases, the introductory phrases you need to know as an Igbo learner. Sorry, sorry. So in that workshop, I'll be talking about again more of how you use your time effectively. We're talking about introductory phrases and sentences you need to know, conjugating Igbo sentences, and pronouncing Igbo words like a native. Yes. Okay. Siobhan, Dalo, thank you. Dalorine Siobhan. Okay. So yes, and that is happening on the 19th and 20th. The link it's below this video to join me for that workshop. Okay. And if you have any questions, you can email me and I'll answer it, ijeoma@igbostudy.com, or you bring your questions to the live workshop because it's going to be live and online and interactive, and you can actually get a chance to practice your speaking in that workshop. So yeah, make sure to join me. One Kodi, oh, Nasuku Igbo. Kodi, Siobhan.